Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring. Hachette Publishing have recently launched their new Partworks magazine, Mortal Realms. I have taken a look at issue 1 in a recent video, but I am not going to be subscribing to that magazine, and one of the main reasons is because I subscribe to this magazine. This is their previous Partworks magazine, Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. It comes out every week, priced at $7.99, and is an introduction to the world of Warhammer 40,000. Every issue you get a magazine which has new rules, tutorials, scenarios to play through, and on the cover of the magazine you usually get plastic miniatures, sometimes you get paints or brushes. This is issue 67 of an 80 issue run, so we are getting near the end of the subscription period, and in this particular issue we are getting some Space Marine Scout miniatures. These are the old Space Marine Scout miniatures that I do not like very much. But let's take a look at the frame. So my frame snapped in the post, but here it is, and you can see that it's one of their older frames because it is incredibly inefficient with the use of the space on the frames. The frames that you get on the newer miniatures are absolutely packed. There's not such huge areas of space. I'm not a big fan of these miniatures. They look a little bit clunky and a little bit weird, but they are useful. Scouts are often a good thing to have kicking around, and if you play Shadow War Armageddon or Kill Team, you will probably get a bit of use out of some Scout snipers. So you get 5 on the frame. You can make one as a sergeant. There is also an option for one to have a missile launcher instead of a sniper rifle. I do actually like the sniper rifles. I think they are nice looking weapons, and best of all, the best thing about this frame is you get one sniper rifle which isn't attached to an arm. All the rest have got like the hands attached, but one is there's no hands because it's designed to attach to like a back or something. So that is a really cool piece that you can add to custom conversions if you're making like a gunslinger, bounty hunter, wasteland apocalyptic traveler. It's a cool thing to strap onto the back of a character like that. So that's a really nice bit of this frame that I do like. Despite the fact that these aren't my favourite miniatures, you can do some cool things with them. This is, I'm just going to show you this quickly, this is a conversion I did using one of the snipers from a frame like this I already had, and I've actually done a video tutorial showing how I did this. I will link that video in the description. But yeah, I did like a head swap, and I did an arm swap, added in like an extra pistol to make him more of a gun-toting kill team warrior, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And of course, regardless of my personal opinion on whether they're nice miniatures or not, they are Games Workshop miniatures and they come with a significant price tag. This frame actually has a full retail price of £17.50. So Conquest magazine retails at $7.99 an issue, so you're saving £9.51 over the full retail price if you buy this issue of the magazine, and that's a decent saving in anybody's book. Let's take a look at the magazine itself. So here we are, and we can see our 5-man squad on the cover of the magazine there with the missile launcher and the sergeant with the scope in hand. Nicely painted, obviously. And inside the magazine we have the standard stuff. We have some fluff at the start. Company in Chapter Champions with this Ultramarine looking ultra cool. Love that helmet, that visor. It's really nice. And then we have Sergeant Tellion. And here's his miniature with little details of what's going on his uniform there. He looks much cooler than the Marines on the frame we're getting. And then over here we have some stuff on the Death Watch. A little bit more on the Death Watch and a showcase. We've got some looks like Primaris Death Watch guys from various different chapters. And down here we have a selection of miniatures which, yep, they're all from the Death Watch Overkill board game, which is a really rather good board game. I have reviewed it on my blog, alwaysboredneverboring.com. If you want to check out my thoughts on it, maybe I'll do a video on it one day, but it's a pretty neat game. It's got a very cool mechanism where you don't really get, there's no terrain to hide behind, but it all works on distances and kiting enemies and being in and out of position on a vast open series of gantries above a void. It's very cool. Well worth checking out, but unfortunately out of print now. You may be able to find copies of it around and about still though. And then we've got our build section on the snipers. All pretty straightforward. Obviously these are not push fit, these are old multi-part kits. You will require glue. And then we have our painting guide. And what I would hope to see is some instructions on painting camouflage, because all of these scout snipers have camo cloaks. And here we go. Cool. This is really cool. They are not just showing you one way to paint camo. They've got 3 different types of camouflage: city camouflage, desert camouflage, and forest camouflage. I recently had a little route around online to see if there was any good camouflage tutorials. There are quite a few people painting camouflage online, but often it's difficult to find something that really suits exactly what you're going for, and especially if you want to do something relatively simple and straightforward. But these look pretty easy. So what are we using there? So it's Mechanica Standard Grey with blobs of Abaddon Black, and then rectangles of Celestra Grey. And then, why are they doing Celestra Grey twice there? Oh, they're not. Okay, it's just further explanation. And then over here, what are we doing here? Steel Legion Drab, Bugman's Glow, then Rakarth Flesh. And on this one, Steel Legion Drab, then Death Guard Green, then Ogrin Camo. That looks pretty decent. That's cool. That's 3 very different types of camouflage and good results. Yeah, that's cool. That is a really good tutorial. That is fantastic. Round of applause for the tutorial there. And shading, going on to shading, and they're actually carrying on applying shades to the cloaks there, which is very good. And then we're into highlighting. Are they going to highlight the cloaks as well? It's not showing any cloak highlights there. Maybe over the page. Here we go. Highlighting the camo cloaks. Nice. And that's pretty cool. That's a pretty decent looking camo paint job there. Very good. That's a cracking painting guide. That is the best painting guide they've had in a while, because often the painting guides are quite similar. They cover the same sort of processes: base paint, shades, highlights for Death Guards and Ultramarines. So it's quite nice to have something that covers something a little bit more specific. They have done specific painting guides before, like they did one that was just on doing plasma effects on plasma weapons. So it is nice to have something that just says this is how we're going to paint camo cloaks, and to give 3 different designs for your camo cloaks as well, and to get good results out of very simple techniques there. Good job. Like that a lot. And then we are into a new mission, Hunters in the Shadows. And with the missions now, what they seem to be doing is letting you pick which map tiles you're going to use, and then picking your armies, and giving you 30 power rating to play with, and then picking your armies. The Death Guard army must contain at least 3 models with the character keyword, because obviously we've got scout snipers, so the mission is kill the leaders. It makes sense that we would have snipers trying to snipe leaders. The Space Marine army must contain at least 3 battle line units. Battle line units have this symbol, that one there, on their data sheets. And the victory conditions are: Space Marine player gains 2 victory points for each enemy character eliminated. Death Guard player gains 2 victory points for eliminating an enemy battle line unit. Kill the enemy warlord is 1 victory point. Game lasts 5 battle rounds. Pretty straightforward. It's just a run and gun. Each side has a different type of target that they're focusing on. Shoot each other up a bit. Very straightforward. And then over here we have a Scout Squad datasheet. I'm pretty sure we have had a datasheet previously when we had Scout Squads in the past, but I should imagine they didn't have the sniper rules and camo cloaks and things like that. So this is a more complete datasheet with all of the options that we now have available to us. And on the back it is blank, which is always nice of them to do. And that is it. That's the whole issue. So in issue 68, we have a hemotrope reactor. This is the second hemotrope reactor we have received. It's a nice piece of scenery and decent value as well. And then in issue 69, we have got a Plague Marine champion with his cool little nurgling sidekick in a helmet. That's a cool miniature. Comes with a head swap option, I believe. I certainly hope it does anyway, because I'm not keen on that face. I would like an option with a helmet. Does it? There we go. Yep. He's got a helmet option there in that picture. So, yep, I will be assembling him with a helmet, as I usually do when there is a choice of heads. But there we go. That's everything. That's a good issue. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the miniatures, but it's still a complete squad of scout snipers. They are useful to have for various different games, and the paint guide for them is good, and the value is good. Can't complain, really. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put up a little running total here, which is something I always do in these videos. It is the price of subscribing to the magazine every week at $7.99 versus the price of all of the things that come with the magazine at full retail price. So I'm not taking into account online discounts, but I'm also not taking into account the value of the magazine itself or any other free subscriber gifts that you get. And hopefully some people will find that useful. But that is it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked the video, please consider pressing the like button. If you have really liked the video, please consider subscribing if you don't already do so. And hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.